Hi, another film I saw this week was The Caller, a 1987 psychological thriller directed by Arthur Allan Seidelman. Seidelman is something of a journeyman director, an impressive set of credits for the stage, but generally a list of somewhat uninspiring but prolific credits in film and television. It's written by Michael Sloan, a prolific TV writer of the 70s and 80s on many famous TV shows, but he's best known probably for creating The Equalizer. The film stars Malcolm McDowell and Madolyn Smith, and it's about a woman living in a cabin in the middle of the forest somewhere who, late one night, while preparing for the visit by her boyfriend, is greeted at the door by a mysterious man. He claims to be English, that his car's broken down, and that he needs to call for a tow truck. But as time goes on, the relationship between the two starts to become more complex. There is move and counter move, psychological games start to be played. And even though they encounter each other again the following day, there's still something strange about their relationship, something undefinable and something as though they're playing a game and they already know each other. Um, it's a difficult film to talk about because it's overshadowed by its ending, which I won't give away. Um, the gamesmanship between the two is interesting and engaging, but it's very much an unequal struggle in terms of performances. Smith had relatively few credits, actually retired from acting not very long after this, and is massively overshadowed by Malcolm McDowell, who plays the caller, I think, much in opposition to how he's written. He's written as being quite menacing and aggressive, but instead he plays him very light and engaging and pleasant all the way through, occasionally dropping hints as to his true nature. It's a good performance in, I think, a very experimental film. Feels very odd in that Seidelman was presumably cast because of his theatrical background. Much of the film is very theatrical, very stagey. It's largely confined to a single location and features only two actors. There's a brief voice role for one other actor who isn't credited. But for the most part, it's just Smith and McDowell for the entirety of the film's running time. Um, with regard to the ending, it does, in a way, resolve everything, but it's such a sudden change of direction and um, change in tone, change in everything that you knew about the film being upended all of a sudden, as twist endings so often are. But here it's, I think, too extreme, too much of an ask for the audience to continue their investment in the film when finding out the truth of what's really going on and what the relationship between these characters really is. Um, the film was also rather oddly made in Italy. Despite the fact that it's set in a cabin in the woods in somewhere in North America, it has location filming that looks like the Pacific Coast Highway. Um, it's not a bad film by any means. I think, as I say, McDowell's performance is very strong, one of his better ones. Smith is perfectly capable, although overshadowed. I think the production design and direction are strong, given the material. But it winds up being so odd, and as I say, so overshadowed by the revelation of the last 5 minutes that everything else kind of fades into the background. And it's so reliant, I think, ultimately on that final revelation, um, that it overshadows the rest of the movie and kind of undoes all the good work that the cast and crew had done up to that point. Um, it's easy to find out what the twist is. I believe it's listed on the Wikipedia page if you want to look it up. But go in cold if you are going to watch it. It is available on YouTube to watch if you choose to do so. Um, See if you can guess what's going to happen at the end, because I can almost guarantee that this is the last thing you would ever think of.